So dynamic.
As we were in the beginning, so shall it be in the end.
In the end.
No.
Wow. In the middle. Wow, daf lay
léegi nag dafa am yoo xam ne dañ fa wobble. Yow suma waay nga don't do that. Bul duga si yooyu.
Baax na daal. But like I said, I think the control room is already insisting that we head right straight onto our African proverb. Oh, okay. So, gentlemen, let's head right onto our African proverb. Do not follow the majority. Follow the right way. Do not follow the majority. Follow the right way. Guess what? The moment I sat here and I read this proverb, something just came to my mind about President Donald Trump's inauguration yesterday. Michelle Obama was missing yesterday. Do not follow the majority. It's about you. She didn't want to be there, according to what was reported, So generally, if you feel like your views do not align with the views of the individuals that you're dealing with or the views of the majority, stay away. It is okay to stay away and stick to your principles as an individual. There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes the majority can go on one side and you can feel really pressured because this is what the majority is doing. This is what everybody believes in. So even if you're going to be the only person wearing black in a hall of people wearing white altogether, but as long as you feel that that is the right thing, that aligns with your principles and who you really are, go for it. That's my opinion.
Yeah. People have different reasons for avoiding certain things because of what they believe in.
Yeah.
You understand? But for me, I think it's a little bit different there. I mean, when it is a national thing, then it becomes a different thing. You understand? So at some point we'll be saying, okay, let us put our differences and look at the nation first.
No.
For me,
not me.
I think when it comes to national interest, even if you have a different view with the other party, there is a way that you are to put nation first. I don't know if that's how many people.
So that's
believe.
how you see the whole Michelle Obama situation.
That's how I see the whole thing.
I understand you, but okay, if you have different views, okay, so on what basis, would you form a common platform?
Yeah.
I wonder, in your scheme, in the way you see things, so on what basis would you form a platform? Because you've called it a national thing, but you've got two different views.
Exactly.
How do you resolve that?
Well, I mean, the views might be different, you understand? But this is an inauguration, and I am pretty sure an invitation was extended to the family.
Well, we've been reading for a while that she wouldn't be attending.
Yes.
So we sort of knew for a while
that she's not going to be there anyway.
But everybody is, open to your views and how you see things.
Mr. Mboch, but generally, even before you comment, Malek tell you as an individual, because I know you for a fact that you are very principled and you always align with your views. We've been working together for 8 years. I can tell. So it's not even just about the Michelle Obama thing, but it's about the fact that in Gambia, for example, culturally, that's what the majority go for. Man, I'm completely different. Man, I do things the way I feel like. Man, my conscience is clear. Even though there's an Ibrahim Abalde in a corner who feels like Lumaneka Def is either morally wrong or something. Because maybe Momongela who de Man, suma bossa fe nyepyeko. But I'm sticking to my guns because that's who I am and that's what I want to do.
Yes. Oh, I absolutely understand that. I understand the, can I call it individualistic view?
Yes.
I understand that. But I also understand the other side. Like, sometimes because of what you call national interest or whatever, you may need to put your views aside. Bring them along for the sake of compromise, for the sake of all sorts of reasons. Human beings are complex. But for me, when I read that, I thought, oh, that's a slippery one. That's a very, very tricky one. Do not follow the majority. And then I asked, in what?
It
depends on the context.
Yeah.
It is just so broad, it's so generic. Because in some areas, I have to, for instance, in politics, democracy, when we vote, the majority wins.
Right.
So that's where I need to have a discipline. I disagree with you, but you are now ruling things.
Exactly.
So I'll be there.
That's
a political aspect.
Mandate.
Then ethically, there are different
don't align
levels.
with
There are different levels.
That was what I was trying to say.
No,
absolutely. Then, but ethically, there's something else as well. What is the right way? Oh, that's a very complicated thing. It always depends on context. But sometimes you may find yourself in a situation. I'm just thinking about 1994 Rwanda genocide. Yeah, you were friends with neighbors for some time, but suddenly, the majority descending on the minority, is trying to wipe them out. Imagine this individual saying, no, I'm not going to do that. Sometimes you may face situations where the individual will have to say that, no, I'm not going to go with you, even though they were killed.
Okay.
The moderate ones. So in certain contexts, it is important to have individual courage to swim against the tide.
Very important.
In certain contexts. In other contexts,
you have to go
swallow your pride, your whatever. It is the majority, because that's how it works. For instance, in a democracy, after elections and stuff like that, that's how it works. It's just purely numbers. You have to follow them.
Yeah.
So it all depends on context, really. And be careful what you mean by the right way. So maybe people can be so self-righteous, thinking that your views, your opinions are the right way.
Okay.
So it's very complicated. It's very complex.
First of all, for example, if you were talking about leadership, voting, and democracy, this individual did not come out to say the votes were rigged or something. This person accepts that, this person is the president, this person is voted for.
No, we have moved on beyond the Obama.
No, I'm not talking about that one even. I'm just talking generally about politics. Because you're talking about swallowing your pride when it comes to politics.
In certain contexts.
Let's
and not politics aside. Generally, election.
Election.
That's just
I'm
one
talking about
aspect
election
of politics.
Yes, I'm talking about even election specifically. Right. As long as the person did not come to say it was rigged and say this person is not my president, I'm fine. If you don't want to associate, it's okay by me. As long as you accept it, like you said, because it's in a democracy, vote matters, you accept it publicly, but you just don't want to, your views, you feel like it does not align and you're okay with it.
Well, it's fine for your views to be different, with the other party. At some point, as far as you've mentioned it, as far as, you are not against, the whole election thing. Your views can be different. But for me, the way people think can be different too. I might say, okay, it might be national interest for me to do certain things because of, when you talk about the nation first, I think I should put that first before any other thing.
All right. Opinions differ. We agree to disagree. And like Mr. Mboj said, sometimes it's good to have this cocktail so that we do not agree.
But was there anything that says, okay, this is the reason she didn't attend?
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. So we will just say she did not attend. Okay. And we leave it at that. So we'll just go for a short break. I think Mr. Mboj loves the cocktail already. It's coming up. The bubbles are coming up. We'll just go for a short break. And when we come back, we'll head right on to the newspaper review. Don't go anywhere.
Introducing the all-new QCell app, your one-stop shop to all our amazing services. Check your balance in seconds. Pay your internet plans with a simple tap. Top up credit and buy data bundles effortlessly, all in one. But wait, there's more. With the new QCell app, you can stream QTV and QRadio live. Anytime, anywhere. Chat with our smart chatbot, available 24/7 to assist you. Explore and activate all our services, all in one place. Don't miss out. Download the QCell app now on the Google Play Store or Apple App Store and take control of your QCell experience today. For more information, call 111. QCell, Sunyabus.
Q Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Browse with us. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25. Yes! Recharge $25 and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse with Us promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus, we innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV This Morning, and I am Jenna Bosonko. So Ibrahim from the African Proverb, who head right on to the newspaper review. And I'm not sure if this was something that was discussed yesterday, but over the weekend, Mr. Mboch, we saw different political parties, congresses happening. We saw the NPP, we saw the APRC. Their congress happened on the same day, which I'm wondering why that is, because considering that they have an alliance, one would expect that the NPP will attend, the APRC, and then the APRC will also go ahead to attend the NPP Congress because there's an existing alliance, because I saw NPP attending the GPDP Congress. And then part of the key takeaways for the APRC Congress was the fact that the flag bearer of the APRC, Tombong Jatta, who is currently the Speaker of the National Assembly, mentioned that for continuity to happen when it comes to the relationship between NPP and APRC, the existing alliance, it's left to the militants of the APRC. So a lot of questions actually surrounding that statement. A lot of people say, is it okay? Is the relationship okay? And the fact that they had Congress on the same day, does that mean there's something happening somewhere?
I'm going to have to tell you what I think.
Okay, please.
The MPP, they've absorbed APRC. APRC, they've served their historical moment. They're gone. They've all been absorbed. Whether they're going to have, they should have had one Congress, or that they've had two parties. That's sort of not very significant. That's their choice. You know what I mean? There's nothing really interesting, as it were, about that. APRC is really gone. You know, let's be honest. There was a splinter group, as it were, but who hears about them anymore? So let us look at the big things, really. Certain parties are gone. Let us just look at the history. Parties tend to be tied to the leaders. Look at PPP. When Sadaude left, afterwards,
nothing.
It just fizzled out. Now we've got APRC. Jam is gone. It was a one-man party, really. It will fizzle out. Now it is about NPP, Barrow, and we've got UDP, there's Dabo here, you see, stuff like that. So I'm not going to waste too much time making sort of much of what isn't, that doesn't have much weight, really.
Well, I mean, for me, I think there is no difference sometimes. You know, both parties held their Congress the same day. It doesn't. I mean, that doesn't tell anything whether you know, it's still going to continue between the two parties. It depends. I mean, sometimes politicians can come out and tell you. It depends on the militants whether this is to continue. But I mean, internally, they are the ones that make the final decisions.
I said earlier, they've really been absorbed. Now there's really no party. Individuals act on their own interest.
Yeah.
You are never going to see any group, as it were, action. Not the group that matters anyway.
Let's take a look at a very good example. The case of CA.
Yeah.
is affiliated to Dr. Cisse. And when you're attributing CA now, the mental picture that you're going to see is CANPP. That's what you're going to see. So there's no difference.
Are you saying that, for example, if Dabo is not the party leader of the United Democratic Party, it's going to die? If NPP, President Barrow, is not the flag bearer anymore, it's going to die, because that is the trend that we are seeing, okay?
And not simply in this country.
It's global.
It's not the trend. It's not only the trend we are seeing now.
It's the trend.
Been happening for a long time.
So does this mean that United Democratic Party is still holding on to Dabo to say he's still our party leader? Because if he's not there, it's not going to work. Or to say NPP, if Barrow is not the flag bearer anymore, there's going to be division.
Absolutely.
Let's put it this way, yeah? From our theory, yeah, should Dabo leave, it will be very interesting what will pan out within the UDP. But he's still there.
So we can't.
We can't. But all we know is that because if parties are not based on ideologies or political doctrine, they become personality based on the leader. So once the leader is gone, the party is gone. This is what we've been seeing with so many of these parties. Even look at it, what happened to ANC recently, and all these big parties. The allure tends to fade. You know what I mean? And then new ones come along. NPP. That's the new kid on the block.
Interestingly, it's been happening for a long time. I mean, for us, we attribute parties to an individual. And, the reality is, if Dabo is not with the UDP anymore, the party is going to phase out.
Are we sure about that?
Barrow is NPP is the same thing. Probably we are going to. Probably we are. No, we've been there. I mean, let's take a look at the case of Sadara Karaba Jawara, the PPP. I mean, they are here, but you can't hear much about them.
No. What I'm saying is, Mr. Balde, let's be careful with our language.
Yes, very careful.
What you just said there is that the reality is that if, then it's not the reality. The conditional is there, he's still there, you do not know. All that we are saying is that the pattern that we've seen in the past is so and so, so it could be that it's going to apply.
So we are judging. I am weighing it based on the past. You understand? Past events. So that's why I said that. I mean, we affiliate most of these parties to an individual. Let's take a look at APRC. I mean, let us be very real. APRC is not the APRC we used to know. I mean, we used to know. I mean, it's not as strong as that way because Jammeh is gone. You understand? So this is the trend that we are going to watch.
Mr. Balde,
and also, that
was the point I really made.
Yes.
The only caution I'm bringing in here is this, yeah? History doesn't teach by examples. It doesn't mean that necessarily this must happen. History teaches by analogy. Certain things are similar, but other things are not. That's how history teaches. So be careful. From the pattern that we've seen, it is very, very likely that once he's gone, but again,
Mr.
we don't have certainty.
How do you see the entire independence that happens in parties? Like, for example, PGOIS, the flag bearer, has been the flag bearer since I know myself, growing up in the Gambia. The United Democratic Party, the same thing. And obviously APRC, the same thing. Because the conversation is like, why should Barrow go for a third term? That put aside, do you think political parties should also evolve generally into ensuring that there's some form of democracy? There is the democracy that exists because they go for their congresses and whatnot. But I'm talking about the changes happening. Because when the changes happen in the political party, it brings about a party not being built around an individual. A political party is built around an individual because an individual has been there for so many years. So if we have those changes internally, then the party militants will
So
understand
I
that.
think
Such as term limits. As, would
Term
you say
limits
that?
in political
Yeah,
parties.
okay.
If we are calling for term limits in government, we also need term limits in
parties.
political parties.
Exactly.
So terms to jote.
So
them.
you see the problem that we are facing as a country, the reason why we affiliate parties to an individual, it's because of the term limit. It's not there. There are parties that since they've been established. It's the same person that is the party leader. You understand? Even at some point, I question Khalifa. What's happening? What's happening? The PDOIS. When are we going to change? When are we going to bring new faces?
So that's your position. Let's go back. 1986, around that time, PDOIS came into being. 10 years later, 1996, wasn't it? Then UDP came along. You see, we have a kind of politics, and Jawara was here for 30 years or so. We have a kind of politics where it is extremely difficult, perhaps virtually impossible, to dislodge the incumbent. The institutions are strong enough. We're trying to do democracy, but the enabling conditions, there are so many, there are so many flaws, so many defects within the system. So it's extremely difficult. So oppositions do not win elections, really. Incumbents lose them. In 2016, by then Yaya was gone. In many ways, he destroyed, he was just gone. You know, when people when you push people to the wall, they react. So you don't win, you lose. So it's a question of choosing the right moment. It just depends. It just depends, choosing the right moment. So it's really very difficult on opposition parties.
So I think before we start talking about, before we start, fine, we should talk about term limits. I don't think, but before we start, we need to start within ourselves.
Term limits in government. You think it's irrelevant?
I am so completely against term limits. Completely.
Why is that?
Yes, I will explain. You see, I do not want the law to tell me who I can vote for or not. It's a political decision. It shouldn't be a legal one. If I want to vote for somebody 3 terms, why not? You see, Americans introduced this, and it was only in the Roosevelt did 3 terms, actually, not that long ago, in the 1940s or something like that. But before then, that wasn't done. You go to Europe, for political office, you will never see term limits, because it is essentially a political decision, not a legal one. Recently, there was this legal scholar, he gave the Reith lectures, that was brilliant, bringing out the distinction between political constitutions and legal constitutions. Right. We are becoming so legalistic, just like the Americans, but I'm not sure if that is good for us. We want leaders with long-term horizons. You see, the 5-year horizon, you are not going to do anything. Maybe you're going to consolidate, hurry and have whatever you want to have and go. Our institutions are weak. We need to build them.
Yes.
Short-term horizons will not do it.
In 5 years,
you cannot do anything.
In 5 years, like you said, consolidate, bring the ideas, try to build, put the papers and the policies together, and then the next 5 years, you do the constructing.
No, it doesn't work
to avoid
like that.
a monopoly. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, for me, I have a completely different argument. I think term limit should be introduced because it is okay for you to serve your 2 terms and then have the next person come in. Your ideas might be different completely. How the person's going to do things. And also, remember, Ibrahima, I was in, like, when Yaya Jammeh was here, his 4th years, obviously, Mr. Mboj can tell me if this is so or not, because halala won. That's true. But dang de wax ay mak yu bari dañ la de wax ne bum ñëwé es melutoon ni like after raybeek yum doon def because dafa generally so toogee place mu yaaga
exactly
yooyu nga dee commencé
xam nga time limit boobu nag foofu la yaaxa bi ñëw that's the problem
because boromam dem na bi mi ko mu téye boppam ak king ko yàlla
time boobu when Jammeh was coming time boobu Gambia many people were hungry for change.
Exactly.
Because Jawara def na fi over 30 years. You understand? So you feel okay, development is slow. It wasn't going with it fast paced. Understand? So when Jammeh took over with the junta, Momak Ninyame, so people were having this confidence, okay, there will be changes. You understand? So that's why people were very convinced. Then we went to vote, yes or no. You understand?
So
that yes or no.
So in the beginning, Jammeh was
all right.
They
did.
In the beginning, he was all right.
Meluton, you more
in fact, look,
look. Generally, don't be Adam mo mel nonu su nekké ci place mu dem be min ko psychology la def day dem be manam mel nu waruta mel but due to time constraints Mr. Mboch we'll have to let you go and we'll continue this conversation on time limit when you come back next week inshallah or this week in between. Thank you so much for joining us. So the Kanifing Municipal Council Ibrahima is on an Operation Sanity. There was last week we were talking about how KMC was looking a bit filthy. Even though people see bins, they would rather actually throw things anywhere they want to. So the Kanifing Municipal Council is mounting this operation to ensure that that changes completely. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for an upgrade? Because QCell's eFankanta just got bigger and better. Now borrow credit from $10 all the way to $500. No more limits to staying connected. Whether it's that important call, buying Q Power, or browsing without a pause, eFankanta has you covered. Loan up to $500 only with QCell. Just dial *393# to get started. Borrow anytime, anywhere from $10 to $500. With eFankanta, enjoy the biggest credit loan amount in the country. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell Senior Bus. We innovate. Orders follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Gambia's most trusted network isn't just growing in coverage,
but also growing in numbers.
QCell brings you another number series, 55. Join the newest generation of the QCell family
and enjoy the same innovative services with the cheapest data and call tariff in the country.
With a brand new look, 55.
Visit any of our customer care locations and
get a 55 SIM for free. Or call our customer care on 111.
QCell Senior Bus.
We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Indi len suñ mobile phone yu bees yii ànd ak jamono Q-Smart ak Q-Smart Plus njëg bi yomb na caméra bi set na mobile bi gaaw na te it batterie bi baax na Q-Smart screen bi 5.9 inch la mobile bi njëg bi ñetti junne ñeneenti téeméer rek mobile bi dina ànd ak loolu di 15 gigabyte data téeméer ak ñaar fukki minute yoo xam ne dang si waxtaan si num la neexee ñetti téeméeri SMS te doo fay dara gën koo yaatal Q-Smart Plus screen bi 6.5 inch la mobile bi gaaw na ànd ak batterie bu baax njëg bi ñeneenti junne rek la te it mu ànd ak loolu di 30 gigabyte data téeméer ak ñaar fukki minute waxtaan si num la neexee ak ñetti téeméeri SMS free bondu lii dinañ la ko xaajal si diiri ñetti weer demal léegi si suñ QCell Customer Care Center yi si réew mi pour am si lu leer koolal QCell Customer Care si 111 QCell suñu bos ñoo xaali yoon bi ñeneen toppa lii dafa ànd ak sarta yuñ tëral Q Money ak Orange Money ñoo lëkkaloo pour yombalal leen yónnee xaalis bàyyi ko Gambia dem ba Sénégal ak Q Money wallet looy toog di xaar dawal léegi nga ubbi Q Money account pour nga mun a door di yónnee xaalis sa xariteeg sa mbokk yi jaarale ko Orange Money Sénégal léegi pour am si lu leer mun ngaa call Q Money customer care si 133 Q Money suñu kalpe lii dafa ànd ak sarta yuñ tëral.
Mitoma. First time cross, really threatening, and it's dropped for Minte, rifled in! Out.
Hidandi da wawi sodude cash power e Q Money wallet maong te ayobata hay hunde ida wawi sode ko yehi ha guluji chapan $30. Ko watano webi wadu dial *323# jokka sartaji ding suboda option 3 fi Q power Ontumasi suboda register meter number sa gaini natina number meter maong. Wadu dial star 323 has joka sartajiding suboda option 3 FQ power. Ontumasi suboda ko jelu falda sodude. Awawa hebude ko bura Andre free QCell airtime. Watu kala soduda Q power. Fi hebu gon hen ko labi. The wine no de 133 Q money sunyu kalpe.
Mitoma. First time cross, really threatening, and it's dropped for Minte. Rifled in! Out.
ndax xam nga ne ak sa Q Money wallet bi mun ngaa jënda cash power te doo si fay dara mun ngaa jënda bellu tollu si fanweeri junney dalasi jëfandekool ak suñu app bi wala nga dial star 323 hash nga toppa sarta yi busal 3 pour jënda Q power.
Back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I am Jenna Bosonko. Ibrahim, before we went for the break, I was talking about how the mayor of KMC, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, is using his powers to embark on an Operation Sanity, considering how KMC looks at this point. And this is a discussion that we had about 2 weeks ago. You brought in videos that we saw of people seeing bins that are already existing and throwing, dirt everywhere.
All over.
And in Gambia, there exist anti-littering laws, and the Kanifing Municipal Council is acting on these laws as well to ensure that individuals living within the Kanifing municipality abide by the anti-littering laws and ensuring that we have a cleaner KMC.
Absolutely.
And we are joined by officials, Seni Sanyang, who is the Deputy Commissioner, Municipal Police Chief of Operations. We also have Lamin Sanyang, who is the Director of Services. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on the program.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we will start with you, Mr. Sanyang, as before we come into the actual enforcement of it, which is the responsibility of the municipal police.
Right.
It is important that I've already given this context, which is the fact that we've all seen how KMC is looking or was looking, and is still looking, not as it is supposed to, as a municipality and a central point, meeting point for tourists, guests coming to Gambia to attend events and all of that. So apart from that, what was the major reason? Obviously, because it's not looking good, but when did you come into the conclusion? Did you try other means of ensuring that KMC is cleaner? And then you felt like that didn't work. Then you said, okay, let's use our powers to embark on an Operation Sanity. Give us some history.
Thank you very much for having us here, and good morning to our viewership. That's a very important questions that you've raised, considering the fact that when the new council came up, there are we did the need assessment in all the 19 wards and concluded that waste management becomes the top priority of the council. I remember in 2019 we conduct public education and awareness to ensure that people are aware of what we are about to do. And then first thing, you mentioned the bins. We've placed bins at public places. You remember we have these old tires where we place on strategic location for people to avoid people dumping or throwing litters along the highway. That did not work as expected because people started bringing their household waste from the compounds and then place it there, and some of them are at the strategic positions. We felt that was not possible, and then from there we tried to create a unit called anti-littering unit to collaborate with our colleague, the NEA, who are the main custodian of the anti-littering. And then we formed partnership and started moving alongside with that.
Yeah.
But when we went further again, we felt it is also important council have its own bylaws.
Okay.
And then we created our bylaws, and then which was taken to the Minister of Justice, you know, for endorsement. And then we start implementing the anti-littering laws. But we are, along this side, we have a serious challenge. The challenge is the capacity of council in terms of enforcing the anti-littering law. One is not there. Two, we have a problem in terms of magistrates because we try to work with the Ministry of Justice to provide us magistrate who is going to fully assign on environmental issues. But that did not work, so we also we made a consultation with NEA again, with the current executive director, Mr. Dr. Baji, who really, you know, collaborate with us. And then we went further to even develop an MOU. And Doctor presented that at our General Council it was resolved for us to proceed and partner with NEA. Because we felt that the council bylaw, the charges in the bylaw is very small, $1,000 is, and then we keep on enforcing it. And then some of the people that are violating, if you enforce it today, the next 1 or 2 weeks you find them doing a similar thing, you enforce it. It's like keeping repeating, finding somebody for almost, $1,000 currently. And then we felt, why not we go with NEA? So because the NEA, the anti-littering laws of this country, has a heavy fine. You can even go sentenced to mile 2 for 6 months or so. So that's the time we went to the NEA and we agreed. We came out with, we signed an MOU, Doctor presented, and the MOU was signed. But when we went further, we felt that, even NEA and KMC, the enforcement will be a little bit difficult. We say, why not we go for tripartite MOU? We have the police involved, right? And then, any charges, there could be a share of percentage based on, what has been collected. And then we involve the police. And then the MOU or the agreement was sent to the IGP. It's still lying down there, and we cannot enforce.
It's still lying down there?
Yeah, it's still lying down there.
What do you mean?
No, because we send it to them to review, because for us, we were developing the NEA with the legal team of the NEA, and we all agreed. But when we felt police has to be involved, and then we also include the person for them to, so you have to send the MOU for them to also to review and agree what is in the MOU, or the agreement, and accept it. Then the three institutions, that's the police.
Yeah, so when you say it's lying down there, it means the office of the IGP never got back to you?
No.
And then did you, have a visit where you sat with them and have the right conversations to see how you
Maybe he's going to talk about that, because they're the one who went there and make a follow-up on several occasions.
Okay.
So my question is, has this objective been communicated to the public? The Operation Sanity. Is the message sent to the people that it should get to? We might start implementing our laws, but at some point, some might be like, okay, I don't know they are doing this.
So when it comes to the anti-littering law, NEA and KMC have constantly been advertised, sensitizing the public about the anti-littering law. They have done that. And also this program, there is an element, activity for about, I think, 1 week.
10 days.
10 days sensitization. They'll be going from radio, and then ward councillors are also taxed to do a community sensitization at their respective wards as well.
So let's go back to this part, which I'm very interested in. Yes, I was just going to come to the fact that the IGP, like he mentioned, you guys met. When you met, you felt like it's beyond the KMC, it's beyond the NEA. It has to do with the IGP as well, to ensure that you have the required personnel to enforce this. So at that level, are you seeing any willingness from when you visited for the courtesy call to tender some of these documents for the partnership to take effect?
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, viewers. It's like when Mayor assumed office in 2018-19, part of our responsibility as a council is to provide service to the people, and is very much conscious about that. council is the only council in the Gambia that have the bylaws in 2020. So these laws are in place, but enforcement is a problem, one. Two, the biggest problem of Gambia, I think, is attitudinal change. People need to change their attitude. Council have almost 21 trucks. Almost only 19 wards have ward trucks. But still, controlling these waste is a challenge. These bylaws were in place since 2020, but we were struggling with it because we don't have the capacity or the manpower to enforce it. So this is why every month we have a task force meeting in the mayor's office. Mayor is the commander-in-chief of that task force, all the regional securities. So during that meeting, it was discussed that the council have an MOU with NEA, the body responsible for the environment.
Yeah.
That NEA is already signed. So now we say, let's make it a larger scale, because only the municipal police, with our powers, that we don't have that much powers like the national police, we have a cope in the police, because the police are the custodian of the law. So now we put them in part of the MOU, then we send to the IGP's office, it was under review. But still, we didn't hear from them. We are still making a follow-up.
So when you are making the follow-up, yes, when you go for the follow-up, what do they say? What is the information that you can share with us? Are we progressing? Where are we heading to with those follow-ups? That's what I want to bring
honestly,
up.
not that much. Because that office is the highest authority. And when we went there, in service, when authorities say we are still reviewing the document, that's all what we can do. We have to come back, but we are still making a follow-up. Hopefully, there will be more developments there in the coming weeks.
Okay, so at this point in time, Mr. Sanyang, that putting aside the police, whom you're not partnering with, and due to your, the issue of personnel that you are lacking, what can you do now with what you have? What are you doing now with the little that you have?
Okay, thank you very much. This is why we come up with this idea, Operation Sanity. Sanity, I think it defines itself. Sanity means tenure. Operation Sanity is different from Operation Clear the Road. Operation Sanity is to make sure we adhere to the rules of the bylaw. Section 54 of the Local Government Act gives the mayor the powers or the mandate to come up with the bylaw that is already in place. So it's just a matter of continuation to enforce it. Section 4, 7, 8, and 9 of the bylaws talk about nuisance. These people placing these sands and gravels on the roadside, sewage pipes from the residents to the street, stray animals, name them. These are things that we can enforce at our own level. So the sanity is not about moving people from their place, but to make sure they comply and they adhere to the rules.
Yeah, but I saw gravel, other things, which is also Operation Clear the Road. It's kind of related. So are you working together with their team?
Part of our TOR and our mandate is different. Nobody have the right or the authority to put gravel or sand on the public street without authority from the authorities, like the council. So most of these people do it out of courtesy or at their own discretion, like I'm trying to construct, but there's no space inside. So they just discriminately dump it in the street. That is
that's what I'm saying. That is also part of what they are doing. So is there any partnership that is existing there? Because you know the same area, and you know the same area.
I think, in fact, in even the Operation Clear the Road, there are councils, municipal police.
Wow, because task force, it's everybody.
So that collaboration, the aspect will obviously have to come into play. As you rightly mentioned, for instance, if they Operation Clear the Road, cleared certain area of the road, and then there is, dead all over, council can come in, because it's happened before. When they did that along the Kairaba Avenue and others, they have to request for the services of the council. We provide them the trucks and the personnel.
Because there was a time, I'm not shops in Hamne, you want to go talibi, and you don't want the council send Boba yen, Yanalen Jockey be, Purnyo war farm.
Right.
So how about that?
Yeah, but after we make clarification on that, some people they misinterpret or they confuse like clearance and license. License is operational, that is yearly. Clearance is a document issued from the CEO, giving you the legal mandate
to have a business in the carnifing.
No, to erect any structure or chaos.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
Before 2018, before Lord Mayor Talib assumed office, it was the council was giving out clearance. But when they come, first thing that they look at is causing more traffic congestion, is causing inconvenience to the road users, and it's also blocking the pavement of the pedestrians, the people passing by. So the council made an embargo on that. Since 2018, they were not issuing clearance. So now people still go ahead
and
use
those
chaos in the street.
Yeah.
When they are paying their license, most of the Badibungas don't go to school. So they cannot even distinguish between a trade license and operational. Operational license is that you give the legal mandate to do the business.
But how were they sensitized on that? I mean, they need to know that.
Yeah, of course, there are two different things. There are procedure that you follow to apply for clearance. You there to the CEO's office. He will go through the document, minute to the Director of Planning and Development. They will go and do the feasibility study and check whether the said location that you want to put the place there. Okay. No, in fact, the first step is...
feasibility study be do they?
Yeah, I'm coming to that.
Anyway, due to time constraints, you will have to come back.
No, I wanted to know whether our officers are well trained to handle the violations as well.
Yeah, of course. Even yesterday we were on that induction training because democracy goes with challenges. Even yesterday I was watching the TV, watching news that the operation Clear the Road come on a challenge. So at the end of the day, what we are doing with this operation, we are very much careful and also aware of the challenges. We make 10 days public sensitization and awareness. In fact, we will go around with the caravan to interpret, this is the bylaw, to interpret this bylaw to the local people for them to understand what Operation Sanity is all about. One.
Thank you
Two,
so much.
we will have radio programs also.
Like this here today is part of it. But next time, I think you should come here so that we talk further on this feasibility studies because feasibility studies bi su amone ndax nit ñi dinañ dem rek taxaw fu leen neex di def lu leen neex waaye dinañ si dugaat da nga laal point bu am solo te suñ si waree duga rek time bi duñu ko may waaye inshallah next week or week Balde mu ngi nii we can schedule something ñu seet some of these things su ko jaree sa télé bi ñu àndaa yéen ñu dem xool feasibility studies bi naka lañ ko defee which is very important because the sensitization bi la bokka so Ibrahima will just go for a short break and we'll be right back. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Zainab kay yow fooy dem naaj bu tàng bi looy daw
sama time gis nga moto bi taxaw na fi post bi lay dawale nii ndax mun a yóbbante sama mbokk yu nekk Sénégal xaalis mun ci gaawee
Zeynab xanaa yow nekkuloo Gambia Zeynab kaay déglu ma xaral déglu ma wax la ma ne looy def yomb na soo amee sa Q money mun ngaa yónnee ko amee Orange Money Sénégal xaalis mu dem si kalpeem bi Orange Money cullung from Q money to Orange Money mu ne fa cullung
looy wax nii
waaw yomb na te gaaw na
lii de neex na fan laa mun a gaaw ndax def mun a def transaction
looy def mooy transaction bi loo ko def yomb na demal si every Q money agent nga jox leen seen xaalis nga cash in nga taxaw foo nekk noonu nga seen ko mu def Orange Money Sénégal si ko
nekku fen si boor yi nekku fen fii
ma ne kaay ma woon asalaamaaleykum Zeynab Q money agent yaa ngi nii nag
agsi na
ñëw na
waaw nu mu gaawee
léegi nag soo bëggee yónnee Sénégal rek defal star 323 hash rek then dina la woon option bi foo yónnee Sénégal
lii daal neex na
yombal
te gaaw
Orange Money ak Q money yombal neen àdduna senal dem na
kay
Q money rek
Q money moo mun ko gis mu daw mbaa mu dal kawam moo mun
Q money ndara na sino dimbade ko gonga no dimbade dem na
Introducing the all-new Q Mobile. Rediscover the essence of mobile communication with a device that brings you back to basics: quality, simplicity, and reliability. The Q Mobile is...
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I am Jenna Basonko. So, Ibrahima, now we are moving on to a very interesting topic, a topic that I'm quite passionate about, persons with disability. And we're joined by the Foundation for Civic Rights of Persons with Disability. And our discussion will be centered on World Braille Day. I can remember when I've done a story on World Braille Day with Aliu Aliu that owns this foundation where he recruits young women and men and teaches them how to use the computer. And it's amazing how the Braille is supporting persons with disability, visually impaired, or persons who are completely blind. And I'm joined by Samba Jaita, who's the president and founder of the foundation, as well as Alex A. Marina, who is the treasurer of the organization. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on the program. To start with, the founder, Samba Jaite. Samba, obviously, the reason why you came up with this organization is because you have identified a challenge, which is the fact that, you know, there's limited access to Braille in the Gambia, and persons with disability, you know, specifically visually impaired and blind individuals, need these to be able to do well in the Gambia. How did this organization come about? Is it based on personal experience, the experience of a family member, or you just generally felt like it's a major gap and you needed to work on it?
Thank you so very much, Madam Janama. It's a pleasure being here. Though not the first time, but for the second time on this morning. So, okay, the Foundation for the Civil of Persons with Disabilities, I can say, is out of experience. As a person with disabilities, I am a visually impaired. I've gone through lots of challenges. In fact, most of the time, I am always the only person with disability in the class. It was so difficult. I went through lots of challenges.
So you're visually impaired?
Yes, I am.
I can't tell.
That's right.
Oh my God. That is why I asked this question. I'm like, was it a personal experience? Was it an experience of a family member? Or you just saw an existing gap or wanted to just solve it? It's amazing, isn't it?
You can't tell the difference.
I couldn't tell, you know. It's good to know that it's a personal experience and you're solving this problem. Please go ahead.
Yes. So I have been going through lots of challenges from school, because most of the time you don't have teachers to take care of you. You have to depend on students. And then most of the time, most of the teachers are not oriented on how to teach visual impaired. The teacher will just come and then be writing on the board with no explanation. And then normally what I use, we use gadgets. I use tape recorders and then to take notes. But during those times, teachers will tell you, I don't have time. And then you have to depend on the students. Some students don't even have complete notes. You have to depend on their notes to sit for exams. I could recall one of these schools, which I don't want to mention. There was a time, an English teacher for that matter, he was in the class. What happened is, whenever a teacher is inside, I make sure I approach you, I tell you this is my condition. So you concern me. But to my own disappointment, to my own dismay, the teacher just shouted at me. How do you expect me to be? Don't disturb my class. Just go and sit down. I was very, very ashamed. Class of almost 50 students.
I'm sorry about that.
So
and this was a public school, right?
Yes, a public school for that matter. So going through all these challenges. So when I was enrolled at the Gambia College, I said, this have to be something they have to fight for, because there are many people on the ground and they don't have to go through these challenges. I started advocating, guiding my fellow students, because I realized this is the Gambia College where teachers are trained, and these teachers will be sent to a different part of the Gambia. So I guided them, talked to them about the rights of persons with disabilities and how best they could help. I started from there, and then luckily I had a program at Capital FM where I advocate on the rights of persons with disabilities. This is what happened. So I was on the advocacy, but self-advocacy, in the foundation. Luckily, I applied for the Monday. I was the fellowship. I was accepted. So from there, I wrote about the advocacy, and it was like, wow, they were interested. So after going to the US, I came, I said, no, I have to at least do something. Just me alone doing it will not work. But let me just organize a foundation. So this foundation consists of persons with and without disabilities.
Amazing.
Like my friend here, Mr. Alex, who is without a disability. He is our treasurer. So I said, we have to bridge the gap between persons with and without disabilities, and they advocate for the rights of persons with disabilities. So this is how the foundation came about.
All right, I like that.
Interesting. I mean, when you look at certain people are going through a lot, especially those living in the provinces. I mean, if you are visually impaired, at some point, all they'll tell you is to go start begging. And I am saying the foundation is going to change that narrative. So please tell us, do you provide Brailles for people as well, the machines?
Okay.
Mr. Jet, do you want to?
Okay.
No, let him.
Okay.
So we don't provide machines. The foundation, we specifically advocate, and we also have something very unique, which I found out in the US. That is human guides, training people to be well equipped on how to guide persons with disabilities. which is very absent in the Gambia.
Right.
When I came, I also put it as part of our plans. We trained a group of volunteers on how to guide persons with disabilities. And this is something that we want to explore and then train many people. Like you go to many areas, people don't even know. You go to hospitals, like a friend of mine was taken to the hospital, he was sick. And then just to my own disappointment, the doctor started asking the guardian, what's wrong with him? What is his name? So when he comes to what's wrong with him, he says, man, I don't know. So the person was saying, my friend, why can't you just talk to me? Why this discrimination? Because the person thought, this person is visual impairment. You don't want to even talk to the person. You want to talk to the person that brought him. So these are things that I think needs orientation on how to guide. Even guiding, some people tell that visual impaired, they're not regret. If you want to help them, because there is a way to guide them. You just come and push me and then say, let's go. Because I may be standing on the road. Maybe I want to cross. Maybe I wait for someone. Don't just assume that I want to cross and they just come and push me and say, let's go. Or someone even start holding the cane, which is very wrong. Because if you hold the cane, you are misleading the person seriously. So these are all things that I think there should be orientation on how to guide, the approach, and then the ways where the person should hold you, where you should move. All these things are things that I think everyone needs to know about.
Yeah. So Mr. Mane, is it? Thank you so much for being a part of this foundation. You know, he mentioned that the organization is catering for persons with disability, and persons who do not have disability are coming together to push for the advocacy. But actually, when he said that, I smiled, because disability is something that can happen to anybody at any point. You can have diabetes and be amputated.
Absolutely.
You can have an accident and lose your sight. Anything can happen. So it's actually a collective responsibility, and I am happy about how inclusive this organization is. But I just want to know the preparations ahead of World Braille Day, because it's a very significant day. How do you intend to commemorate it? Who are you targeting?
Yeah, I believe we had it the other time, and then it was a success. Yeah. And
who was targeted? Sorry, past tense.
Yes.
Who was targeted during the celebrations and all of that?
Basically, I would say everybody was targeted.
Okay.
Because it's inclusive. Yeah, so those affected and even those who are not affected, especially the government, because we believe that they are the main umbrella of everything. So whenever we call for this, they should be involved, so that the challenges that we are facing, it will be addressed. Yeah, we have some private people who might want to come in and then help in that, but the target is everybody, honestly. We target everybody.
So did you have school children attend the celebration?
Yeah. That day, kids came, some people, both elderly, and then the foundation is for everybody.
Yeah, because with the kids, at least when they grow, they grow with that,
So I want to know what is the structure of this foundation, because the consistency and the effectiveness of a foundation depends on the structure.
Yes, we are, like he rightly mentioned, we are like a baby crumbling to come. But
how long since you established it?
I think we are now 3 years to 4 years now.
Okay,
it's not
you're
easy.
not a baby. You're growing.
Now we are growing. At least now we are we are growing. Yeah, we have our structure. We have our executive. We are legally recognized because we are well registered, and then we run our affairs.
In the Gambia, it's not only registered. You need to knock doors, even if you are legally registered. For you to get certain things, especially the things that you do, you need to be very consistent in knocking doors. Otherwise, you'll be left behind.
So let's go back to the Braille a little bit. I'm interested to know, because you've been to the Gambia College, and when you saw what happened at the Gambia College, you were even further motivated. So are you working on any partnerships internationally to ensure that, you attract the supply of Brailles in the Gambia? Because if a foundation exists, one would expect that the foundation can facilitate aid to the Gambia in relation to solving that particular problem that is existing. Are there any plans?
Yeah, thank you. And
Mr. Jaite?
This is a very good question. Like, if you tell people foundations, they are here to give. But the foundation we are here to give, like not all foundations support. Some are foundations that give services, that we give services. Okay, I am working with my friends and then partners maybe from the US, if they could help with the issue, because at the moment we've been knocking doors, but the funding, the support is a bit difficult. All the things we're doing, we did celebrate the International Deaf Awareness Week. We did celebrated many, but it's all self-funded. We funded among ourselves. So we're still knocking doors, trying to look for partnership. And then this Braille Day, I think it's something very important because many don't know. And then it's still something that I keep on saying. from the deaf awareness week, I said this sign language should be something that everyone should know about sign language, because disability is here to stay. People are here, and the person with deaf and hard of hearing are also part of us. The same with the visual impaired. I think the Braille is something that shouldn't just be centered on GOVI or visual impaired organization, but everyone should know about the Braille, because you might have a friend who you want to help. I personally have trained many people on Braille, people who are even sighted and they can do Braille. So this Braille is something that, even with the introduction of technology, because now we have computers with NVDA, speech softwares, phones with TalkBack, the visual impaired can use, but still Braille is important. Because with these speech softwares, you can only listen, but you might not be able to spell certain words. The computer will do everything for you. It will pronounce, do everything for you. So in terms of writing, you might find it difficult. But with the Braille, you'll be able to read and write. So it's something that we need to really work on. Though it's a challenge, because in the Gambia, the Braille machine is not found in the Gambia. Even the Braille papers is a problem. It has to be brought by other people. So these are all challenges, but we're still working.
The other day when you came here, you said you were having exams.
Yeah, at the university,
paper. So how do you manage to do your papers? I just want to know, I'm curious.
Exactly. That's why I was very happy when Janab asked our target. Our target is everyone, because if you're the University of the Gambia, during, I think QTV was there, we were very happy that you people honored our invitation. I talked about this thing, that you go to University of the Gambia, there's none that can do Braille. If you can use computer, you're nowhere. So imagine a visually impaired who can only read Braille without using computer. You're nowhere, because there's no way to transcribe the Braille. And then you find out that if you look at the grade 12 and then the results, most visually impaired have difficulties. Because one, still now you have in our education system, you have diagrams. You find out in science or other subjects, you find like draw and label this diagram, carrying 20 marks. Which means a visual impaired will lose all those 20 marks because he cannot see.
So are you suggesting that they have a separate exam?
There should be a substitutional question
for visually impaired individuals only.
It shouldn't be a compulsory one. Maybe there should be one to substitute that diagram.
For visually impaired only.
But if you want to say just draw and then label for
20
marks.
I don't think it would be fair enough to everybody to be given the same, considering the conditions.
That's challenging.
At the Gambia College, University of the Gambia, there's someone that can do Braille, which means if someone writes in Braille, you're nowhere.
Okay.
So you either be able to use computer or you're nowhere.
Oh, wow, that's challenging. That's challenging.
So
Mr. Mane, finally, what should we look forward to with this organization? Obviously, considering the status quo, which is the challenges that exist.
Basically, we are calling on every Gambian, both ones home and even abroad, to comfort. This advocacy is not for us alone. I and Samba and our members cannot do it alone. QTV is part of it, the government is part of it, everybody is part of it. So we should all comfort and then join, support in any way that you can support, whether through advocacy or through finance, anything that you think, any path that you can play, comfort, we will appreciate it, because we believe if we all come together and then we put our voice together, honestly, we'll really make a change, we'll effect a change. But if you want to leave everything on our foundation, honestly, we'll not go anywhere.
So, all right. So that is clear. We hope that soon you will have the international partnership to be able to, because I know your intentions are there. Currently, you're just providing services, but I'm sure you would also want to go further than that, but it's due to the financial challenges that exist. We wish you good luck. It's not easy, but it's a step in the right direction, and hopefully philanthropists, organizations will be attracted to this organization to fund it. So yes,
I want to just make something very clear. You have some partners that are outside there, but they want to fund, but based on their experience, they'll be like, okay, this organization are just for self-centered. If you give them, they'll put it in their pocket. Because guys send post.
Because then I'm experienced.
So I will suggest, if anyone is interested to help, comfort, we have our website. Look what we are doing. And I believe, and I can honestly tell you that we are not the kind of people. If you, whatever you invest,
ñu dañ am website.
Ankay.
Mr. Mane, ñi jël. ñaakuñ website de. Website ñëpp ko man dama toog suma kooda develop suma website teg ko. Balde mi toog. Weltaare. Su ko neexee mu develop.
am na website.
am na website te si biir website boobu. muy call ay nit di si jël xaalis du ko dugal si poosam. Man daal li ma dem ba gis mooy. nit ki looy munti def si sa boppa bi la. It's about your conscience. Because foo ko defee kenn du la gis sa diggante la ak yàlla at the end of the day, which is very important. Waaye good luck, Dal.
Okay,
We'll just go for a short break. And when we come back, Ibrahim, we're heading on to a very, very exciting segment. Marina International School students are painting and just doing a lot of art to ensure that they raise funds for education. And I'm super excited to have two brilliant boy and a girl who are going to be joining us and telling us how they're using arts to actually improve themselves and also motivate their fellow pupils at school. We'll be right back.
Your one-stop shop to all our amazing services. Check your balance in seconds. Pay your internet plans with a simple tap. Top up credit and buy data bundles effortlessly, all in one. But wait, there's more. With the new QCell app, you can stream QTV and QRadio live. Anytime, anywhere. Chat with our smart chatbot, available 24/7 to assist you. Explore and activate all our services, all in one place. Don't miss out. Download the QCell app now on the Google Play Store or Apple App Store and take control of your QCell experience today. For more information, call 111. QCell, Sunyabus.
Q Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Browse with us. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25. Yes! Recharge $25 and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse with Us promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus, we innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you ready for an upgrade? Because QCell's e-Fankanta just got bigger and better. Now, borrow credit from $10 all the way to $500. No more limits to staying connected. Whether it's that important call, buying Q Power, or browsing without a pause, e-Fankanta has you covered. Loan up to $500 only with QCell. Just dial *393# to get started. Borrow anytime, anywhere from $10 to $500. With e-Fankanta, enjoy the biggest credit loan amount in the country. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell Senior Bus. We innovate. Others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short break. Ibrahim, like I mentioned before we went for the break, Marina International School students have arts that they've worked on, and it's currently stationed at Alliance, where they're raising funds for education. They will tell us all about it. We're joined by Atli Silla. Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
Are you excited to be here?
Yes.
I can see that all over your face, and I'm excited as well. And also, Adam Wang, thank you so much for joining us. You've been on QTV before, so you're home. I'm sure you're excited and comfortable.
Thank
so, Adam, tell us all about this fundraising initiative through arts.
So our school, Marina International School, we love to make sure that every area of the subjects are taken serious. Like the arts department right now, we're making sure that everyone showcases their talent and know that they have the potential to create, to innovate. So we have the painting, the exhibition, the art exhibition taking place at Alliance Française right now. So you can go check it out. All of the artwork, all of the art pieces are done by Marina International students.
Nice. I love it.
Well, I'm looking at the paintings and all this artwork. I was thinking, okay, this is done by an expert.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Okay. So what are we doing now? I mean, we're pricing them, we're selling them?
Yes.
Okay.
Those three, the first three, I made them.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you made? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Adli,
Yes.
how excited are you about the fact that you've painted and these paintings are going to be used to raise funds for education? How do you feel about that?
I'm pretty excited because I know education is a very important part of life, and sometimes not everyone can get it, and I think we're very privileged to be able to do this.
Okay. So what do? You paint, you do tie and dye, you do crafts. Which one do you do?
I paint.
You paint?
Yes.
So how did you
develop the
get,
passion
the
for
skills
painting?
and all of that? How did it come about?
Actually, this exhibition was supposed to, the work that you're supposed to do to be taken to the exhibition was to be counted as assessment. So we were supposed to do the work on a canvas. I have never painted before, and then I decided to do it, and I found it quite relaxing and fun.
Oh, I love that. I love the fact that you found it
Relaxing
relaxing.
and fun,
It
yeah.
means it's not just for the max, but you had fun doing it.
And you have to love what you're doing.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
as
love
well. So, I mean, how long is this exhibition going to continue?
It started on the 17th. It'll end on the 22nd tomorrow. Yes.
So, what is the turnout? Are people coming over to patronize?
Yeah. One of my art pieces were bought there, and other also were bought. So you can still go, and there's the EcoBank details there as well. Everything is there for donations or etc.
And why the need? Why the need for this exhibition? I mean, to gather funds.
It's also to raise awareness about how important art is, because art is education. So with the amount the funds raised, it will be taken to build further awareness. Yes, and motivate other people to involve themselves in arts.
So is this something that you want to pursue at tertiary education? Because I know your passion for painting did not start now.
No.
You even used to paint and give it out for free and all of that. I guess now you are more aware that it can generate income that you can use for fundraising and all the things, but you used to paint and give it out for free.
Yes.
So is this something that you want to pursue in tertiary education or
No,
something?
it's just a hobby.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just I do it because at the end of the day, I'm proud of myself because I see that I made that. Yes, so the outcome is, it brings me joy, it brings me happiness.
So what do you want to become?
Cybersecurity analysis.
You want to be a cybersecurity analyst?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because I don't like how people are, what they call the 419.
The 419.
419, that. Yeah,
the whole cyberbullying thing?
Yeah, the cyberbullying, the theft also.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make me happy.
So how do you think you can make a difference? I mean, when it comes to cyber security?
One thing about me, I like to achieve. Like, I make sure that I achieve my goals. Like, no matter, it may be difficult, but I make sure that I make at least a small difference in every place like I live.
So Ibrahima, I need to come in here. Ibrahima, mbasma tenga woni bo don dem school. Man Ibrahima Balde mi wax leen ma lu leer. Ibrahima Balde
Lena dal xamoon naa ne suma time school head boy la.
Laajuma la.
I'm head girl.
I was a head boy too during my school days.
Man daal xoolal Adam daal am na lu ma leeru daal. Leeru ma ne kii bu nekkee grade 9 xamutoon sa lan la bëgg a nekk.
Man daal xam naa ne Lena moom head boy laa woon.
Man sa head girl laa woon loolu dara.
Can you make a painting of me if I give you my picture?
I would try, and I think I would get it.
Yes, I'm sure about that. What do you want to become? Do you want to pursue paint arts, at tertiary level?
I really love it, but I think I'll also take it as a hobby.
Okay.
I want to be an educationist when I grow up.
Why?
I think education is very important, and the way it is acted upon to students these days, it gives the impression that learning is not fun and that it is not necessary. So I would like to find a way to reverse that when I grow up.
I like that. You know, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, we're reviewing the curriculum to see how they will add play-based pedagogy, you know, play-based pedagogy where, you know, they will use different play-based things like you're mentioning, arts and all of that, that they can put in to ensure that maths and science children are able to learn happily. So I'm glad that that is your plan, to ensure that you make actually learning fun. But how do you want to do this? What do you feel like is missing to make learning fun in schools that you want to bring in?
I think the way it happens these days is that you go to class and you sit down for 1 hour, then the teacher talks, then you go. But if there could be a way where you come in, then sit down, the teacher interacts with you more, gives you more fun exercises and stuff that children in that class generally
will relate to?
Yes, would make it a more enjoyable experience.
And what do you think can make children be more interested in learning? I mean, you've just said children think learning is not fun, it's boring. So what can we add in the system? You are a student going to school, so you might, want to add certain things.
I think he talked about that he wants it to be more fun, right?
Yes.
So what is going to be the fun bit?
I haven't thought about that yet.
Yeah, okay, you have time to think about that.
Okay.
And I'm sure you'll come up with something brilliant about, you know, but already we have an idea. You want it to be more fun, more engaging, not just the teacher coming in. So before we wrap up, what message do you have for, you know, school pupils like you who also want to get into the arts and get it as a passion, but they're not motivated, like you said, Adam. Sometimes the motivation is not there for other school pupils to also take painting or anything art related seriously.
Well, I believe in what Cristiano Ronaldo said, practice makes perfect. So if you put enough effort and practice to something that you enjoy, there will be great outcome. So if you practice well and enough, you will get there at the end of the day.
Because you had to practice, right?
Yes.
And you're there now. You're doing so well.
Yes.
Super proud of you.
Thank you.
How about you, Sila?
I think the internet is a very great place for inspiration because there's so many amazing works there and there's so many tutorials on how to paint, how to draw. And it's actually very fascinating that there's this whole arts community waiting there. And if you really want to get into arts, you can find some channel on a social media that you use, like say YouTube.
Yeah.
There's this YouTube channel, it's Draw Like a Sir.
Yeah.
It shows very great drawing tutorials.
Okay.
And just looking at artists online in general
Can
I think
be a
really,
motivation.
Yes, it
and you
inspires.
know what? I also want to let you know that you are a motivation. You just motivated me. You are such an inspiration, the both of you.
You are an
You're
amazing
such
person.
You two
Keep
are
up.
such an inspiration. Like I said, when Balde was your age, when this Balde, you see how old is he? With his socks and shoes and everything. When he was your age, he couldn't say half the things you just said. Do you know that?
One thing I know, if you are a head boy, I mean, you have to be able to do.
No. And how old are you? How old are you?
I'm 12.
Balde, be honest. When you were 12, you didn't say stuff like that. But anyway, this just goes
That
to
sounds
show.
funny.
Yes. But this just goes to show how things have changed.
Absolutely.
How brilliant you both are. And we're super excited about what the future holds for the both of you. A cybersecurity analyst and also an educationist. I'm sure the future is bright.
We
with
wish you all the best.
Doing well.
Thank
and
you.
we wish you all the best. And it's at Allianz Franco.
Yes.
And it's ending when?
Tomorrow.
It's
the
ending
22nd.
tomorrow. So make tomorrow what time?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. So make sure to rush.
Looking forward to getting.
Yes. Ibrahima, you have to
painting.
go patronize
At
them,
least one
get a
painting.
painting for them, head right on to Allianz Franco. It's very central, it's not far, it's not close. So you can just pop by there and patronize these pupils of Marina International School. And this is not going to their pockets. The money is going back to raise funds and for education. Like you said, it's not every child that is privileged to go to school or go to Marina International.
Brilliant initiative.
Exactly. It's about that young person watching us down in Soma or somewhere who does not have a school bag, who does not have a shoe to school, or who cannot even go to school because of transportation issues. There's this community where when kids are going to school, monkeys rush to them and stop them.
They have to trek.
They have to trek, you know.
Can you imagine there are people who trek almost an hour to get to school?
So
Students
it's
like
good.
your age mate.
Yeah, so it's good that you have this initiative. And Ibrahima, I'm looking forward to your initiative.
It will
Hanga mang la do dal bo nekke 12 years. Ki bu nekke 12 years ki du don xalat li.
Bal bu mala won suma image 12 years.
12 years. I don't want to see it. I don't want to. But thank you so much, Adam and Adli, for coming on the show, and we're looking forward to what more you'll get to do. And thank you to Marina International School as well for allowing you to come up with such a brilliant initiative. And we hope that other schools will also emulate it. So Ibrahima, that is all we have time for. Make sure to tune in tomorrow and Thursday, where you'll be here with Jules Njai to continue the week. And I'll be back next week, Monday, inshallah. Thank you for watching and have a good day.
Bye.